This week on the Double T Insider, we sat down with graduate student Kader Tapsoba and learned about his experiences in Red Raider basketball. We shine light on Red Raider soccer's Janine Beckie in this week's Red Raider Spotlight. And in this week's Coach's Corner, we go one-on-one with head coach Kliff Kingsbury. All that and a whole lot more. This is the Double T Insider. The Double T Insider is brought to you by the College of Media and Communication and is produced entirely by students of the college.
Hello and welcome into another edition of the Double T Insider. I'm Brett Brown alongside Caitlin Kravick, bringing you more access into Texas Tech athletics.
From a small town in Africa to Lubbock, Texas. This week, the Double T Insider sat down with Red Raider basketball's Kader Tapsoba. We bring you the insider on the forward grad student.
My name is Ali Kader Ismail Tapsoba. I'm from Burkina Faso, West Africa. That's a small little city, actually. Ouagadougou, that is called. That's the capital of my country. Back home, when you go to high school, you learn a foreign language. I was learning English, but I was more written English. We don't actually speak it. So when I was 15 or so, I started listening to American music that I liked. So I was like, this is kind of interesting. So I went ahead and started listening to it, and I was a DJ as well. So I started singing it, and that's how I just got the hang of it. That was pretty different, you know, because back where I'm from, basketball is not that big. It's a soccer country, actually. Everybody plays soccer. So when you say you're a basketball player, just look at you like, oh, okay. I played soccer my whole life, actually, until I turned 15 and I grew kind of too tall. They wanted me to play goalie, which I didn't like to do. So I tried something else, which was basketball, and I liked it, so I just quit. And the first time the country was qualified for the final phase of the African Cup of Nations, and had the luck to be called, and I went. It was different because basketball overseas and basketball in the US are kind of on a different setting, but it was a good experience. I enjoyed it. Because I'm the type of person I would just say, okay, today I'm not going to let you score. And that's my mindset. I would just go with that from the get-go till the end of the game. I mean, the shot blocking, it's mostly timing, you know. And you got to have the help of your teammates as well, because it's really hard to block somebody when you're actually the person guarding him. But you can block somebody from the weak side every time. So my teammates do a good job of bringing the person in, and I just finish the job. My roommates are Deon, Dusty, and Ross. When we're at home, we just spend our time fighting each other, just poking each other around. You know? I mean, everybody's my best friend, to tell you the truth. I love Texas Tech when I got here for my visit. I met the people, I saw the facilities, and I just fell in love, so I chose the Queen here.
In this week's Coach's Corner, the Double T Insider sat down with head football coach Kliff Kingsbury. We recap his first year as coach, as well as preview what's to come in the 2014 season.
Having been a student athlete at Texas Tech nearly 12 years ago, how has the atmosphere changed since you were in that position?
It's just grown. You know, everything's bigger, buildings are nicer, stadium's nicer, the fan base is incredible. The outpouring of support we had this year was wow. The student section, you know, breaking student attendance records was incredible, and I just think everything's just grown and gotten better over time.
And from a player's perspective, how would you say the game has changed since you played it?
It just is played faster now. I think, you know, that's the whole in vogue deal, and the buzzword right now is the up-tempo offenses, and everybody's run more plays and scoring more points and more yards, and so I think it's fun for the fans.
And at the Tech recruiting dinner in Dallas, it was icy, 20 degrees, people were told not to come out, yet over 1,000 people showed up. and gave you a standing ovation. How does that alumni support make you feel?
It's very humbling. You know, there's 5 of us that played here, and this is our dream job. This is our passion to be back, and so to receive that sort of support and feedback from the fans has really been incredible.
And a lot of people have compared Davis Webb to a young Kliff Kingsbury. What similarities do you see between the two of you?
He's super competitive, you know, and I think that's what jumps out to you. The way he competed each and every day in practice and got better. He stays up here late, he's here early, he leads the workouts. It's impressive to watch because he wants to be great, and so that makes it easy as a coach. There's
a picture of you two jumping up and celebrating at the West Virginia game. How would you say that picture describes your connection with this team?
Yeah, you know, I'm a big fan of Texas Tech, and so to come back and be a part of that as an alumni, it's a different type of passion than any other job I've had. So I am so excited to see these kids have success and do good on and off the field that it's just a different feeling than I've ever experienced.
And in another interview, you said to shape the system around the quarterback, not the other way around. How do you plan on doing that with Davis Webb?
Yeah, he's very cerebral, very smart, so we're going to put a lot on him and let him get us into the right plays. You know, he doesn't have the foot speed that a Johnny Manziel does, but he has things with his mind and his arm that are special. He has a big-time NFL arm and a great mind for the game, being a coach's kid. So we're going to put a lot on him and let him execute it and you know, play to his strengths.
And between the end of the regular season and the Holiday Bowl, what dynamics in the team changed?
Really, we got some guys back healthy. That helped, and then we practiced them hard. We didn't let them go home. We practiced them for a month straight and let them know, hey, if you dedicate yourselves to this month, we'll end this deal the right way and send the seniors out with a win. And that was kind of our entire mission, was to let these seniors have their moment. The entire time, guys were bringing great energy to the practice field. Even here, it was cold and nobody's in town, and they kept showing up and executing well. And then we got out there, and it was just a different vibe. You could tell they were very confident and were playing with a chip on their shoulder.
And let's talk about recruiting a little bit. What was different this year as opposed to last year when you had 6 weeks to name a staff and hit the recruiting trail?
Completely different. You know, last year you're trying to get a staff together and recruit at the same time, and you don't get to know the kids as well. And we feel like we brought in a good class last year that's going to help. But this year we had a year to get to know the kids, and we wanted to bring in high character kids with good academics and that had been on winning programs and could help kind of change the culture here, and we feel like we did that.
And when the current freshmen are seniors, what goals are you hoping for them to have achieved?
A Big 12 championship. You know, that's why we came back, and I want them to be the first group that experiences that, and hopefully we'll get there.
And last question, I was listening to the radio the other day, and I'm just wondering, you're remaining head coach of football, right? Not pursuing a rapping career?
That was probably the worst sounding thing I've ever heard. So I probably should have stayed away from that, but you got to be able to laugh at yourself. So yeah, it's definitely football.
All right, well, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, appreciate it.
For the Double T Insider, I'm Caitlin Kravick, and this was Coach's Corner with Kliff Kingsbury. Coming up, we go on the clock with Kliff Kingsbury. And later, Luke Heath brings you our best tweets of the week. But first, here's your Texas Tech trivia question.
Red Raider baseball players Ryan Long and Chris Sandberry were selected for the Houston College Classic All-Tournament team. When was the last time that 2 Texas Tech players were selected in the same year? Is it A, 1993, B, 1998, C, 2003, or D, 2008? The answer to the Texas Tech Trivia Question of the Week will be coming up later in the show. Stay tuned, because after the break we're coming back with more of the Double T Insider.
This is you. You want to be a director in Hollywood? Maybe you want to capture someone's attention on a 30-second spot. Maybe you'd rather be a social media manager, or you want to sit behind the World News Desk. You can do that here at the College of Media and Communication at Texas Tech University with a degree in advertising, electronic media, journalism, media strategies, or public relations. From here, it's possible.
Welcome back to the Double T Insider. This week we go on the clock with Kliff Kingsbury.
Double T Insider here, and we're about to go on the clock with Kliff Kingsbury, a game where I give Kliff 10 questions that he has to answer in under 60 seconds. All right, Kliff, are you ready for this?
I'm pumped.
Okay, first question. As a kid, who was your favorite superhero?
Oh, goodness, Superman.
What was the last movie that made you cry?
Oh my God. Lone Survivor.
If you could only eat one type of food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Pizza.
Notorious B.I.G. or Tupac?
Tupac.
Growing up, who was your #1 football hero?
Joe Montana.
What is your go-to selfie pose?
I don't have one.
If you could have dinner with anyone, living or dead, who would you choose?
My mom.
Before a game, I always have to.
Listen to music.
Your favorite childhood TV show was?
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
If you had superhuman powers, it would be to?
Fly.
All right, well, congratulations, you beat the
That
clock.
was like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So that was easy.
For the Double T Insider, I'm Caitlin Kravick, and we just went on the clock with Kliff Kingsbury.
My name's Janine Beckie. I am a sophomore and I'm from Denver, Colorado. I started playing soccer when I was 4, obviously back in Colorado, just on like a little rec team with some of the girls on our team's dad was coaching, so it was just just for fun back then. My favorite thing about high school soccer is that it was a little bit more laid back, obviously, than Division I soccer. We were in 4A, which was one division lower than the highest division in high school, and we actually had a lot of girls that played in my same club there. So I loved playing with my high school team because we were very talented, and we actually went to the state championship 3 out of the 4 years that I was in high school. We only won once, but I actually got to play high school soccer with Janine Beckie, who's here now, and I think that's something that's really special, is that I got to play with her. My high school was also a really special place. I think we had a very small student body, so I was super involved in everything, and everyone came to the soccer games, and it was just really fun. But I think the thing that I loved the most is it was just being able to play with the girls that I saw in school every day, that I hung out with on and off the field, obviously, and just having fun with it and winning games. My most memorable moment from this past season is probably when we beat West Virginia in the regular season. It was at home, it was a Sunday night, we weren't expecting a big crowd, but there was a lot of people here. And the start of the game was a little bit rocky. We both came out really hard and they were attacking us really fast. But then, we regrouped and said, we got to take it. And at that time it was strange because West Virginia had already won the conference because they had won the rest of their games and they hadn't played us yet. So we kind of had a little chip on our shoulder, like, hey, let's beat the conference champs and, show them that we deserve to be the conference champions. So we beat them 2-0 and it was just super exciting. I would say the difference between this year and last year is just my, presence on the field. I wasn't really known, obviously, last year when I came in as a freshman. Usually, they aren't, but so I kind of hopped on the scene pretty fast last year and made the impact that I wanted. And this year, my role was a little different in the fact that the teams that we had played last year and knew who I was, so shut me down a little bit better. So I had to figure out new ways that I had never experienced before to score and to have the same impact that I had freshman year. But so that was the main difference, that my role was a little bit different, but it's also, I stepped into a bigger leadership role as a sophomore. There's new people coming in, and I knew what that was like. So, leadership and just my role changed a little. I think, especially Tom has reiterated, we're looking towards, having a better season than the last. So winning more games, losing less games, making it further, winning a Big 12 championship, making the NCAA tournament again, and, getting further than we did last year. So I think for me, my goal as of now is just to have a better season than the last and the one before that, and just continue to leave a legacy at this school and create history and build friendships throughout the 4 years that I'm here. But, on the field, we want to win a championship, whether that's the Big 12 or, dream big, the NCAA tournament championship. So that's my goal, and that's our goal as a team.
After the break, we come back with our best tweets of the week. But first, let's take another look at the Texas Tech trivia question.
Have you figured out the answer to the Texas Tech trivia question yet? Earlier we asked, when was the last time that 2 Texas Tech players were selected for the Houston College Classic All-Tournament team in the same year? Your options were A, 1993, B, 1998, C, 2003, or D, 2008? If you haven't figured out the answer yet, we'll give you some time to think it over. The correct answer to the Texas Tech Trivia Question of the Week will be coming up later in the show. Don't go away, because there's more Double T Insider coming up after the break.
This is you. You want to be a director in Hollywood? Maybe you want to capture someone's attention on a 30-second spot. Maybe you'd rather be a social media manager, or you want to sit behind the World News Desk. You can do that here at the College of Media and Communication at Texas Tech University with a degree in advertising, electronic media, journalism, media strategies, or public relations. From here, it's possible.
Each week for the Double T Insider, we pick the best tweets about Texas Tech athletics and air them on our show. This week, we're featuring tweets about Red Raider baseball. Hector Dominguez tweeted, "Last year, Texas Tech snapped a 13-game losing streak to TCU, and today snapped a 15-game losing streak to Rice. Times, they are a-changin'." And Tech student Nate Smoes tweeted, "Tech baseball is the truth this season. #Wreck'em." And Elvis Moya tweeted, "TTU baseball ranks 19th in the country in average attendance and 20th in the nation in total attendance. Guns up Tech." And be sure to check back with us next week for more tweets, when yours could just be the one chosen.
After another week of games in the books, let's take a look at the upcoming games in Texas Tech athletics.
On Tuesday, Texas Tech baseball concludes their homestand against Abilene Christian. First pitch is set for 6:30 p.m. On Wednesday, Red Raider basketball will travel to Kansas City, Missouri to compete in the Big 12 Championship. Teams and times are to be announced. Red Raider baseball travels to Waco Friday to play a 3-game series with Baylor. Friday's game is set for a 6:30 p.m. start. First pitch for Saturday is noon and can be seen on Fox Sports 1, and Sunday's game is set for 1:05 p.m. Texas Tech track and field will travel to Albuquerque, New Mexico Friday to compete in the 2-day NCAA Indoor Championships. Events are scheduled to last both days. On Sunday, Lady Raider Tennis returns to the McLeod Tennis Center to take on Texas. First serve is set for noon. Texas Tech men's tennis returns home to play Indiana Sunday at the McLeod Tennis Center. First serve is set for 1 p.m.
And finally, here's the answer to your Texas Tech Trivia Question of the Week.
It's time to reveal the answer to the Texas Tech Trivia Question of the Week. Earlier we asked, when was the last time that 2 Texas Tech players were selected for the Houston College Classic All-Tournament team in the same year? Your options were A, 1993, B, 1998, C, 2003, or D, 2008. The correct answer is D, 2008. In 2008, Major League outfielder Roger Kieschnick and Joey Kentworthy were the last Texas Tech baseball teammates to make the all-tournament team together. This has been your Texas Tech Trivia Question of the Week. If you didn't get this week's question right, don't worry. Next week, we'll be back with more Texas Tech trivia.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's episode of the Double T Insider. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to tune in Wednesday for a DTI weekly update.
And as always, be sure to like the Double T Insider on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and go to our YouTube page to watch all of our episodes. For Brett Brown, I'm Caitlin Kravick. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.